Okay, students, I welcome you all of you to this YouTube video. Now, in this YouTube video, we'll be learning simple compound and complex sentences and how to convert a simple sentence into compound and a compound sentence into complex sentence. So here, if you look at this slide, the first I would like to introduce you to the sentence. Before you learn anything, you should learn the definition of a sentence. A group of words with a complete meaning is called a sentence. Like she reads a book. So, and then what is a phrase? A phrase is a group of words without a subject and a verb. It is a part of a sentence and it does not express a complete thought. So, like for example, if you look at the example on the table, so it's not giving a complete sense or a complete thought. So if a verb shows, like now we'll be looking at another thing, that is a finite verb. So if a verb shows, what is a finite verb? When a verb shows the number, tense and a person in a sentence, like person, number and gender or tense is revealed, it is called a finite verb. Like she writes a letter. If you look at the sentence, she writes a letter, the verb writes shows the tense, present tense, and it also shows the person, third person. It also shows the number, that is, it is singular. Like if you look at another example, like we ate an apple, the verb ate shows the tense and it is in past tense. It shows the person, like we is a third person, and it also shows the number, that we is a plural. Like if you look at this, another part of a sentence is a clause. So what is a clause? A clause is smaller than a sentence and bigger than a phrase. Like in the clause, you can find both subject and a predicate. A group of words that contains a subject and a predicate is called a clause. A clause may be independent or it can also be dependent. You should remember this. A clause may be independent or may be dependent. So like for example, the sun shines in the sky. Now we'll be looking at another aspect of this conversion of sentences, that is main clause or a principal clause. So what is a main clause and what is a principal clause or an independent clause? Don't get confused that these words are different from each other. These are not different from each other. These are the synonyms of one another. Like for example, main clause can also be called as a principal clause, or principal clause can also be called as an independent clause. So either it is a main clause or principal clause or an independent clause, all of them are the same. So a group of words having a subject, a finite verb, and a complete meaning of its own are called main clause or principal clause. Like for example, if you look at the example over here, if she hears the news, she will get a surprise. So what is the main clause over here? She will get a surprise is the main clause, because it stands alone and it stands independent and it gives a complete meaning. Whereas if she hears the news is not a main clause, but it is a dependent clause, because it needs to be completed. If she hears the news, what happens to her after listening to the news? So that needs to be fulfilled. Subordinate clause or dependent clause, both of them are synonyms. It can also be called dependent clause or it can also be called subordinate clause. A subordinate clause is also a clause because it has a finite verb but it cannot give a complete meaning of its own. So this particular clause cannot give its full-fledged meaning, and it always looks for a main clause to give a complete sense. So it depends on the main clause for the completion of its meaning. If she hears the news, what happens? She will get a surprise. So if she hears the news is called the dependent clause, whereas she will get a surprise is the main clause. So if she hears is a dependent clause. It always depends on the main clause, that is she will get a surprise. So now look at this simple sentence. We'll start looking at these three important aspects called simple, complex, compound, and we'll start with a simple sentence. Simple sentence has only one main clause. You should remember this, with or without a phrase. Like for example, Rani is a good girl. So Rani is a good girl. Seeing the snake, the man ran away. So in the first sentence, it has only one main clause, that is Rani is a good girl. Whereas in the second sentence, it has a main clause and also a phrase. So these sentences are called simple sentence. So it has one main clause, that is the man ran away, and it also has another phrase, that is seeing the snake. Next. Two or more main clauses joined by coordinating conjunctions. Like two or more main clauses can be joined by a coordinating conjunction. We should know what is a coordinating conjunction. Don't worry, when we go forward, we will come to know what are the coordinating conjunctions. I have also given you a simple tip to remember the coordinating conjunctions. So here if you look at the example, Maran worked hard and so he became rich. So Maran worked hard and so he became rich. Maran worked hard is the main clause, and he became rich is also another main clause, whereas this and so is a conjunction, and this is also called a coordinating conjunction, which combines these two main clauses, that is Maran worked hard and he became rich. The sentence has two main clauses with a conjunction and so. It is called a compound sentence. It has one main clause with one or more subordinate clause. Like what is that? A complex sentence. In the previous slide, we looked at a compound sentence. And now here if you look at, this is called a complex sentence. So complex sentence has one main clause with one or more subordinating clauses. Like if you look at this, if you study well, you will get a first class. If you study well, is a dependent clause, whereas you will get a first rank. So to remember, to identify whether it is a complex or a complex sentence will always be followed with a subordinating clause. So here this you will get a first class is the main clause, will be followed by another subordinating clause, that if you study well. And you have also another example, that is though he is poor, he is generous. So these sentences have subordinating clause and a main clause. So these sentences are called complex sentence. So when there are two main clauses, then that will be called a compound sentence. When there is one subordinate clause followed by a main clause, then that will be called as a complex sentence. I hope you understood the very definition of simple, complex, and compound. Like if you look at this slide, it is very interesting for you that you can remember the coordinating conjunction. So by this you will identify whether it is a coordinating conjunction or a subordinating conjunction. Like words that join sentence or sentences or words are called coordinating conjunctions. It is used in a compound sentence. So all of these conjunctions are used in a compound sentence, like for, and, nor, but, or, yet, so. And to remember these things, we have come up with an acronym like fanboys. So F stands for, A stands for no, N stands for no, and B stands for but, or O stands for or, and Y stands for at, S stands for so. So all of these conjunctions can be remembered with the acronym that fanboys. So these conjunctions join subordinate clauses with main clause. These subordinating conjunctions. So previously we looked at compound conjunctions, and now we are looking at these subordinating conjunctions. These conjunctions join subordinate clauses with main clauses, like unless, whenever, since, although, because, etc. So if you look at this transformation of sentences, these are the rules that you need to identify to transform one simple sentence into complex sentence. Like if you have a sentence like simple sentence like despite plus noun, like despite of his unhealthy ill health, despite of his ill health, he attended the meeting. So if you look at this kind of sentence, that can be transformed into a complex. Though he is uh, unhealthy, he attended the interview. He is unhealthy, but he attended the interview. So you can look at these particular these rules, and these rules will be helpful for you to transform a simple sentence into compound sentence. Like okay, being, you have this all of this inspired, despite, in the event of, in the case of, being, as a result of, on account of, because of, due to, owing to, in order to, besides, without. All of these you can find only in simple sentences, right? And then if you, whenever you find these simple sentences with these markers, then you can easily transform them into complex sentence. Like being a teacher, um, uh, he inspired many students. Being a teacher, uh, he inspired many students. He inspired many students because he is a teacher. He is a teacher, and he inspired many students. So that is how uh, you need to transform one from another. So being is a marker where you can find only in simple sentence. Like you can also have this too. This ice cream is too cold to eat, and you can transform that into complex. Like this ice cream is so cold that I can't, maybe that I could not eat. So you can do that. And in order to be successful in transforming these sentences, you need to memorize these things. So relative pronouns are also there. A relative pronoun is used to connect a clause or a phrase to a noun or a pronoun. The where, who, whom, whose, which, when, what, how, why, what, all of these are all relative pronouns. So thank you for listening to this.